I'm going to keep this straightforward because buying outdoor furniture is one of those decisions that feels big at first, but it really comes down to how it fits your space, your habits, and your budget. If you've ever stared at a patio and thought, I want a place to sit that actually works for evenings and maybe a fire pit, but I don't want to waste money on something that looks good on the showroom floor and falls apart after a few months, this review is for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Trex Outdoor Furniture Cape Cod 5-piece deep seating set with fire pit table tries to combine a classic, roomy seating arrangement with a built-in fire feature, and it does that in a way that's meant to be low maintenance. The set comes with 4 deep seat chairs that are meant to hug you when you settle in, plus a square 42-inch fire pit table that includes a stainless steel burner bowl, a glass wind guard, and a hidden side door that lets you swap out a 20-pound propane tank without taking the whole thing apart. On paper, the Crystal Fire Plus burner promises 816 hours of heat on a single tank, which is the kind of flexibility you want for a dinner party that drifts into the night or a quiet weekend on the deck. Let's talk about the kind of people who will actually get value from this. If you have a permanent patio, a deck, or even a flat lawn area where you entertain a handful of friends on a regular basis, the deep seating layout saves you the hassle of shuffling chairs around. The chairs are wide enough that you can put a blanket over them and stay warm while the fire burns, which is a subtle but real convenience when the evenings get crisp. For families that enjoy outdoor movie nights, the fire pit doubles as a low-profile coffee table. When you're not using it for heat, just pull the burner out, and the glass top provides a stable surface for snacks and drinks. On the other hand, if your outdoor space is more of a small balcony or a tight corner, the 42-inch square footprint could feel imposing, and the 4-chair spread might dominate the area before you even sit down. One of the biggest practical strengths is the way the propane tank is accessed. The side door hinges shut securely, so you don't have a clunky external latch that can get caught on wind or rain. When it's time to replace the tank, you just lift the door, slide the empty can out, and slide the fresh one in. No need to crawl under the table or undo a complex assembly. In my own test, swapping a tank took about a minute, which is a nice improvement over many fire pit tables that require you to unscrew a panel or lift the entire top. Another point worth noting is the material choice. Trex markets the chairs as being made from a composite that's meant to be safe for wood and composite decks, concrete patios, and even lawns. The frames are designed not to rust, which is a relief for people who live near the coast where salty air can accelerate corrosion. The fabric on the seats is a midnight linen color that stays fairly neutral in the sun, and because it's a synthetic blend, it resists the kind of fading you see on cotton cushions after a summer of UV exposure. The only caveat is that the cushions are not removable for washing. You have to spot clean them with a mild detergent. If you have kids or pets who tend to bring in mud, that could become a regular chore. Heat output is something you can actually feel when you step close to the fire pit. The stainless steel burner bowl distributes the flame evenly across the glass wind guard, and the heat reaches about 6 feet out, which is enough to keep a small group comfortable without turning the whole patio into an oven. However, the fire pit isn't designed for high-altitude locations where the air is thinner. The manufacturer notes that performance can dip in those conditions, so if you live in the Rockies, you may notice a shorter burn time on the same tank. Also, the fire pit runs on propane, not natural gas, which means you'll need to keep a spare tank on hand for longer gatherings. That's a cost consideration that's easy to overlook until the night of a big party and you hear the click of the tank running low. From a value perspective, the set lands in a price bracket that's higher than a basic aluminum patio set, but lower than a high-end teak arrangement. What you're really paying for is the integrated fire feature and the durability promises from Trex's composite construction. If you compare buying separate chairs and a standalone fire pit, you often end up with mismatched aesthetics and extra assembly time. The Cape Cod set bundles everything into a single package, which saves you the headache of mixing brands and dealing with different mounting systems. Now, let's address the weaknesses that could be deal breakers for some buyers.